Bonjour chers amis de Français 2. Aujourd'hui, dans cette vidéo, nous allons étudier la leçon 11 avec le titre « Boire and stem changing verbs ». So, we're going to learn more verbs related to food, beverages, the food unit, and other applications. And what most of these verbs have in common is the fact that they are irregular and stem-changing verbs. If you notice behind me, I have the verb espérer, espérer, to hope, and we will see how this applies to our unit. Espérer, and espérer is conjugated in the middle or inside and around a boot. I'm going to move a bit like this so we can see. Voici, j'espère, I hope, tu espères, you hope, il espère, he hopes. And then we have ils espèrent in the plural. So we have je, tu, il, and il in the boot because they have the same stem. See, e accent grave, e accent grave, e accent grave, and e accent grave here. And nous espérons and vous espérez use e accent aigu. E accent aigu like that, which means that je, tu, il, elle are inside the shape of boot, while nous and vous are on the outside. This is a pattern that will help us conjugate the verbs. D'accord? Let me start by also sharing now my screen, and we'll get right into the lesson slides. Voilà. OK, comme vous voyez, voici la leçon 11A, boire, to drink, beverages, and stem changing verbs. D'accord? Voici les cibles d'apprentissage, learning targets. I can communicate about what someone is or is not having to drink with the verb boire. This is the first section of the lesson, leçon 11A. We will see more learning targets as we move along. So, boire means, and let me adjust this video, boire means to drink. And boire is a stem changing verb, just like you saw espérer around me. It's a stem changing verb. Notice that we use oie and boire in the stem to conjugate je, tu, il, and elle in the plural. So if we draw a line around them, we will have a boot shape, right? Je bois, tu bois, il boit. And then, nous buvons. See how it changes for nous? Vous buvez, it changes for vous as well. And il et elle boivent. Okay, the ENT is silent. I drink, you drink, he drinks. We all drink, you all drink, they drink. Okay, let's do it one more time, because this is the first verb. Je bois, tu bois, il boit. Nous buvons, vous buvez, ils boivent, or elles boivent. So we have S-S-T, O-N-S-E-Z-E-N-T. And in the passé composé, boire is conjugated with avoir, and the past participle is bu. So j'ai bu, I drank. Here are some examples. I'm going to read some, and I'll let you pause and read and understand and be prepared to translate the rest. Je ne bois pas d'huile de moteur. I do not. Okay, so here we use the negative form. Ne pas de. Remember, ne pas, and after pas we use de apostrophe. Je ne bois pas d'huile de moteur. What could this mean? I do not drink any, or I don't drink motor oil. De, tu bois un soda. You drink a soda. I'm going to skip to 4. Nous buvons de la limonade. We drink lemonade. Vous ne buvez pas d'eau minérale. Remember this? You do not drink any mineral water. I'll let you pause and read the rest. And in the passé composé, here's a sentence. J'ai bu, I drank, j'ai bu du lait, or which means de le lait, du lait. I drank some water, some milk. Okay, here are the sentences. D'accord, same thing. Now, of course, this is the first section of the lesson. We will, in class, you'll be assigned activities and for homework as well. And we will continue with leçon 11B, les cibles d'apprentissage. I know about stem changing verbs and their conjugation. So here we will continue conjugating with acheter, to buy, amener, to bring, préférer, to prefer, espérer, to hope, payer, to pay, envoyer, to send, and nettoyer, to clean. And we'll go over them individually here. So you'll see boots here because they are boot changing verbs, stem changing verb or boot verbs. So here what changes? We have the verb acheter with an E. I highlighted it I colored it in green for you, acheter, to buy. So this E for je, tu, il, and il in the plural changes to E accent grave. I hope you can see it in the table, in the way it's colored. There's a boot, right? J'achète. So it's acheter. Répétez. Acheter or acheter. J'achète. Tu achètes. Il achète. Elle achète. On achète. Nous achetons. See how it changes? Vous achetez. You see and you hear, right? The color changes and the pronunciation and spelling changes. Remember, it's a spelling mark, this E accent grave. So it's essential that we place it. It's not for decoration, it's spelling mark. And then we have il et elles achètent. We have to do the liaison. Ils achètent, elles achètent. Again, j'achète, tu achètes, il achète, nous achetons, vous achetez, ils et elles achètent. And in the passé composé, j'ai acheté, I bought. Here is the boot. D'accord? Just like espérer. Continuons. Voici des phrases avec acheter. We will come back to this slide, I believe, but let's continue with préférer. Is préférer to prefer a stem changing verb? Oui. What changes? The E accent aigu changes to E accent grave. What's the difference? I'm going to go back to the previous slide. Acheter, the E changes to E accent grave. While préférer, the E accent aigu changes to E accent grave. Je préfère, répétez. But let's start actually one more time with préférer in the infinitive. For je préfère, tu préfères, il et elle et on préfèrent. Nous préférons, vous préférez, il et elle préfèrent. Again, these four in brown are similar, creating the boot shape. Le passé composé is with avoir again. J'ai préféré. J'ai préféré. The passé composé, the past participle is similar to the infinitive stem. Continuez with payer. Payer means to pay. And here the Y or the Y changes to I. Okay, this is a stem change. Je paie. Répétez, I pay, you pay, he pays, we all pay, you all pay, they pay. En français, répétez avec moi. Je paie. Tu paies. Notice this spelling. E-S-E. Il et elle et on paie. Nous payons. Vous payez. Il et elle paient. This paie is pronounced like this. Paie. Paie, 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 paie. D'accord? The spelling, though, is different. In the passé composé, it's j'ai payé. I paid. Amener, which is to bring. Here we have the E changes to E accent grave. To bring someone. Let's see. J'amène. So it's in the infinitive, it's amener. J'amène. Répétez. Tu amènes. Pause. After each conjugation and repeat. Il, elle, on amène. Nous amenons. Vous amenez. Ils et elles amènent. ENT is silent. J'ai amené is a passé composé with avoir. Espérer, so this is the verb that you see here behind me. Espérer, to hope. Again, here for espérer, the stem happens when the E accent aigu changes to E accent grave, okay? It's important because these are not just dashes or lines or decorative marks. These are spelling marks. J'espère, I hope. Tu espères, you hope. Il et elle et on espère. Nous espérons, vous espérez, ils espèrent. J'ai espéré is the passé composé. Now, envoyer, again, the Y, which means to send, by the way, is a boot verb or stem changing verb. J'envoie. The Y changes to I for je, tu, il, elle, and il, elle en pluriel. J'envoie, I send. Tu envoies, il envoie, elle envoie. Nous envoyons, vous envoyez. Nous envoyons, vous envoyez, il et elles envoient. Again, the Z sound comes from the liaison between the S and the E. And the passé composé is j'ai envoyé. Répéter is another verb. Répéter means to repeat, but they are similar to what we saw previously. Here, what changes in the stem? The E accent aigu turns to E accent grave for the brown parts, right? Répéter. Je répète. Tu répètes. Notice the spelling. Il et elle et on répète. Nous répétons, vous répétez, il répète. In the passé composé, j'ai répété. Notice, by the way, j'ai répété, all the accents are aigus. Nettoyer, to clean. Je nettoie, tu nettoies, il nettoie. Nous nettoyons, vous nettoyez, il et elle nettoient. J'ai nettoyé in the passé composé. And here are the translated verbs in one slide. I am going to read some sentences and I invite you to read the rest. J'achète du pain et du fromage. J'amène un copain au pique-nique. Je préfère dîner au restaurant. J'espère avoir un A à l'examen. Can you read the rest and pronounce them properly? If you cannot remember how to pronounce these, go back to the previous slides in the video. D'accord? Ici, on continue avec la leçon 11, partie B, le choix des articles. Now we're gonna review what articles to use when we are using these and other verbs. We spoke previously about the definite articles and the partitive articles. We're going to look again at these two types of articles in more detail. Here are the learning targets. I know how to use the definite articles to express my likes and dislikes for food items. I know and can use the partitive articles to indicate a part of a whole food item. I can communicate about the lack of food or beverages in the negative sentence by using de. Okay, let's see. First, how to choose the articles, le choix des articles. Voilà. Articles are used much more frequently in French than in English. I think we established that in previous lessons. All the articles have to be used. I mean, all nouns have to be preceded by articles, which means in French that the articles are used more frequently than in English. Now, the choice of a definite, indefinite, or partitive articles depend on what is being described. Here are the uses, and here are the descriptions, and here are examples. D'accord? Use. When do we use the definite articles, which are le, la, les, l'apostrophe, that mean the in English? We use them to describe a noun, used in the general sense, like this. J'aime le gâteau. J'aime le gâteau. In general, as a rule, right, the general sense, I like cake. So I use le, or yes, in this case, it's masculine, so we use le. Now, another situation when we use the definite articles is to describe a specific thing, meaning the in English. Voici le gâteau. Here is the cake, or the cake I baked. n'est-ce pas? We use le to mean the, and to mean in general, to express my likes, right? When you use the indefinite article une, des, which translate, by the way, to a in English, one or several items. So to describe one or several whole items. Voici un gâteau. Here is a whole cake. And notice a translates to un, une, or des, based on, depending on the gender and number of the noun. But it has to be a whole food item, right? Now, when do we use the partitive articles, de la, de l'apostrophe? When we are trying to describe some, a portion, or a certain amount of something. Voici du gâteau. Here is some, or a serving, or a piece of cake. Voici du gâteau. So, voici le gâteau. Voici un gâteau. Voici du gâteau. Et j'aime le gâteau. Okay, here we're going to see them, the same information described with more examples. To describe a specific noun, we use the definite articles. Voici le gâteau, here's the cake. To describe a noun in a general sense, j'aime le gâteau, I like cake in general. And you should use them, these articles, de la and les and l'apostrophe, after aimer and préférer. So whenever you say je préfère, use the definite articles. In this case, la viande, I prefer meat. J'aime la pizza, I like pizza. Now, when do we use the partitive articles du, de la, and de l'apostrophe? To describe some, a portion, or a certain amount of something, like j'ai mangé du gâteau, I ate some cake, or in English, you can just drop the some and say, I ate cake. Remember that often left out in English, these articles cannot be left out in French. Now, the context also should help us decide which article to use. Depending on the context, definite, indefinite articles, or partitive articles may be used. For example, je commande de la glace. I'm ordering the ice cream, which is on the menu. So we know which one we're talking about. It's a specific one, so we use the, la. Je commande, example number 2, je commande une glace. I'm ordering an ice cream, or a ice cream, right? An ice cream, one serving. When we're saying je commande, I'm ordering some ice cream, or ice cream, je commande de la glace. So here, definite article la, indefinite article une, partitive article de la. There's an extra help with the, okay, we're gonna ignore this one and keep going. This slide will be on, of course, on the presentation for this lesson 11. It's des petits trucs à ne pas oublier, some tricks, little tricks that will help you remember. Une, des, these are the indefinite articles. And we have du, de la, de l'apostrophe, which are the definite articles. So all of them change to de or des apostrophes after a negation such as ne pas, not, ne rien, nothing, ne jamais, never, and ne plus, not anymore. So here we're getting to the negative form of the partitive article and the indefinite articles. Okay, you cannot use a partitive article for a subject. You would usually use a definite article. Okay, we'll talk more about this. Here are some examples. Du lait et du jus sont dans le frigo is incorrect. You cannot say du lait et du jus. Some milk and some juice are in the fridge. You cannot do that. You have to say le lait et le jus sont dans le frigo in French. Okay? Voyons. So we will practice more of these activities, some activities related to all that we've learned today in class, and you'll do some independently on your own. I'll be there to help you, to do repetition drills if needed, and to help you go through the material and check your pronunciation for the conjugation. Fill out the lesson notes and review as needed. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.